Welcome to GlassTalk, Canada's podcast for the architectural glass industry. Now here's your host, Patrick Flannery.
Well, hi everybody, and welcome to Glass Talks. It's Pat Flannery, your editor at Glass Canada, coming at you again. And we're going to have kind of a relaxed one, possibly a short one today, because really what I want to do is just answer the age-old question: what's going on at Top Glass West? We of course are taking our big architectural glass show, Top Glass, out to Calgary on October 17th. With a very special event on the 16th, the day before, that we'll talk about. And to help me with all of this is our fearless brand manager, Leslie Osborne, coming to us from bucolic Arnprior, Ontario. And she's going to, she and I are just going to, update you all on everything that's happening out there. How's it going, Les?
Everything is going well. Thank you, Pat.
Yeah.
Nice talking with you again.
How's your day in Arnprior? Are you looking out over the lake?
I am, and it is very rainy here today.
Yes, we had a big rain here today as well. So, but there's not going to be any rain in Calgary on October 16th and 17th, right? We've got that. We've planned that. We've made sure of that. And that's the thought is we're going to be taking Top Glass out there. I think let's do it this way. To start us off, tell us what Top Glass is. What's your elevator pitch? Because Leslie has to sell all the booths at this thing. So this is Leslie's going to give you her elevator pitch for Top Glass and explain what the show is.
Well, thank you. Well, Top Glass is a one-day conference and trade show event. Typically, it is held in the spring in Toronto, but this year being our 10th year, and due to a lot of feedback and demand, we have brought it out west, out to Calgary. Yeah. So now this event is going to be held twice per year, in the spring in the Toronto area and in the fall in the western area. Top Glass hosts lots of glazing contractors, glass fabricators, architects, facade designers, and they come in to listen to some great education sessions that Pat facilitates. We have some great topics and sessions. And then the show floor is filled with great exhibitors. To talk a little bit about those, we have two fantastic sponsors. We have FlexiJet 3D, who you can come on out and you can learn all about them. You can learn about their on-site digital measurement systems. They have 3D measurements for showers, railings, windows, and enclosures. And as they say, you measure smarter, not harder.
Yes.
Our other great sponsor is Richelieu Glazing Supplies. You can come on out and meet the leading distributor of specialty and decorative glass hardware for interior and exterior applications. They serve the commercial market, offering hardware for doors, cabinets, showers, handrails, and so much more. And then just to name a few of our other great exhibitors that we're going to have, we have Apollo Windows and Doors, Otero Flat Glass, Canplex Extrusions, Duxton Windows and Doors, Everglast Group of Companies, Glassopolis, INT Machinery, JSA Machinery, Kier Fabrication, Penn West Sales, Quattro Lifts, Rainier's Aluminum, Sterling Hardware, and Trelleborg.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we have some great association partners that we're working with. We're working with the Glass and Architectural Metals Association, the Provincial Glaziers Association of Alberta, Fenestration Canada, and Fenestration and Glazing Industry Alliance.
Yep. FGI.
So in a nutshell, there's a lot of great reasons to come on out for the day.
There sure are. It's nice to see on the exhibitors. We've got some people we haven't had at a Top Glass before. That was part of the objective in going out west, right? Is we wanted to be able to, bring in those folks that are focused on the Western market and aren't always in Toronto. And that's been successful. Certainly Apollo, Duxton, Good friend. Hi, shout out to Al Dewick and all the gang over at Duxton if they're listening. Nice to see them get involved. And yeah, the sponsors, it's been so great to have Flexijet has been a really strong sponsor of the show, both in Toronto and now out west. Some really advanced laser measuring instrumentation that would make your life, really a lot better on a job site. Makes those layouts and setups easier. And Richelieu is very cool. I always associate Richelieu in my mind. Now, in a previous life, I actually did woodworking and wood manufacturing, cabinets and the like. And Richelieu was a big player in that industry, doing all your fasteners and hinges and hardware and stuff like that over there. But they also, of course, are very big in glass. And then of course I was associating them with the residential windows and doors. Richelieu is big on that. Well, here they are coming out with their commercial stuff. So wow, that's going to be exciting to see what they bring to the show. So we've really gotten great support for this thing. I think everybody in the industry, right, Les, that we've talked to has been really enthusiastic about the idea of a Western show. There hasn't really been a commercial Western thing going on. Fenestration Canada, of course, is doing their wonderful conference in BC. But this, we're out in Calgary and trying to do something that's very focused on the commercial side. So when you were talking to people about going out west, Les, what kind of feedback were you getting? What were people saying?
A lot of the feedback, was that we needed to go west, but
Yeah.
people really were happy with our choice of Alberta. A
Mhm.
lot of events, whether it's in just home or if it's commercial glazing itself, they always tend to be out in BC.
Yeah.
Alberta was a province that seemed to appeal to a lot of people, and I'm seeing it from registrations. I'm seeing it from exhibitors. We're getting the draw from British Columbia, from Saskatchewan, from Alberta, from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It's a good kind of neutral distance for that area. A lot of
Yeah.
people are happy with us using there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like I
there's just
said,
no
the
way around
interest.
it out west. You're traveling anyways. So, this is kind of where we were hoping to be a little bit central. Plus, Calgary is a hot spot for construction. I mean that they continue to really build downtowns and big beautiful new buildings, and then a lot of renovations and updates to their existing stock, which I'm actually going to talk about in a minute. And so that's why Calgary seemed like an attractive destination to us. And we get a lot of interaction with the channel from Alberta. Alberta glaziers seem to like to talk and communicate and compare notes and go back and forth with the magazine. And hey, we love it. So we'll come to you. Why not? It makes a lot of sense.
That's right.
So yeah, the other, so I want to start with just to explain what's going on. The first thing I want to get to is really a cool element that we've brought in with the help of our friends at Gamma and PGAA and their suggestions and their connections. We have set up a plant tour on October 16th, the day before the show. We're going to have everybody who wants to come on out, register at topglasswest.ca. You can find the registration link there for the plant tour, and we're going to tour Oldcastle Building Envelope at what's the street there? 72 Avenue Southeast or something. And they have a fabrication facility out there making well, really everything for building facade. I mean, they're fabricating architectural glass. They're doing windows, curtain wall, entrances, storefront, skylights, structural glass, everything. And so this is going to be a chance, I think, for everybody to get together and see their friends in a more casual thing where we're just kind of taking a tour and walking around, and obviously also to see the neat stuff that Oldcastle is doing. They're obviously one of the biggest glass fabricators in the world. They've got all the most advanced processes out there. And big thanks to Mike Horn and the gang there for welcoming us out. And basically, I guess so. Les, tell us a little bit about the way registration works and what we're going to try to do on the day.
Great, thanks, Pat. As Pat mentioned, registration is open on our website for the plant tour. Space is limited, so if you are interested in attending, I do recommend getting onto our website and registering quickly. We have different time slots allocated through the day so that we only have groups of 15 or maximum 20 going through at a time. That way, the facilitator walking us through can talk without having to yell. We can answer some questions. We can take our time, look around, and really enjoy the plant tour.
Mm-hmm.
During the registration on the website page, there are different time slots you can pick. So if 8:30 a.m. is your preferred, or if 11 a.m. is your preferred, by all means, you select what you prefer. When you're there, each plant tour should take approximately half an hour going through, plus about 15 minutes for questions and answers during, after, before.
Yeah. I'm going to warn everybody, you may not end up with the slot that you pick. We're asking you for your preferred pick, but then we're going to cluster people together, depending on how to, I mean, if we fill up, you'll get whatever you want. But if we, we're not going to do, 5 in the morning and then 5 in the afternoon or something like that. Like we've got to, we may have to alter that. So we're gonna cut it off at some point, and then I'll be sending out. We'll get emails out to everybody with your instructions for the day. It's not going to be complicated. It's basically going to be show up at Oldcastle around your allotted time. Have a coffee and hit the tour, and then sit around and shoot the poop with everybody afterwards. So that's kind of how we're approaching the plant tour. We did this in Toronto. It was at Top Glass in April. It was a lot more. It was more complicated because there were 2 different places to tour that were a little bit of a distance apart, but it went really well. And man, we filled right out, and there were a ton of people. So it really does make for a great day. So if you have that time on October 16th and you're in the area or you're coming in for Top Glass, make your travel plans accordingly, and we'll get you on the plant tour, and it'll be really fun. But you do have to register. Topglasswest.ca. Oldcastle does have the ability to decide who they want in there. So there's if you're a competitor going to spy, you're not going to have much luck. Oldcastle does get to vet the registration list, but there never seems to be any problem with that. So we won't be too concerned about it. Anyways, that's the plant tour on the 16th. Looking forward to that. And then let's get into the sessions. We've got we're starting out the day that the show opens at 9 on October 17th. Sorry, October 17th. The show opens at 9. The venue is and what the hotels are doing with their names these days, I'll never get it. The Best Western Premier Calgary Plaza Hotel and Conference Center in Calgary. So there you go. Mark that down. And it opens up at 9, and then we're going to get into our first presentation. Is going to be George Torok from Stantec, formerly Morrison Hirschfield. They've been bought and merged. And George, I think will be known to many of you. He's a building consultant that has been doing this for a long time. He's on a lot of the big committees. I should name a couple of them here. I've got that information. CSAA 440, of course, and he's on the CGSB committee for safety glazing and for insulating glass units. CGSB 1220, structural design of glass for buildings. So he's sitting on the committees that are making the standards. Very, very knowledgeable guy, and still out there in the field, really doing a lot of work on various projects. And so George is going to talk to us about office to residential conversions. And this is a big topic, right, Leslie? I mean, a lot of a lot of office buildings are being turned into condos, right?
Yep. And there's a lot of empty office spaces that are
Yep.
now topics of discussion of what to do with them.
Yeah, and oftentimes I just think it's a huge opportunity. It's going to be an opportunity for the industry. Now, of course, when you turn an office into a residence, most of the work is on the inside. The bathrooms obviously need to be changed. The HVAC needs to be changed. Walls need to be knocked down and moved around. Common areas need to be turned into individual units. That is certainly the bulk of the work. But as George will be revealing, there is actually significant facade considerations. There's different things that need to be looked at there. Air water ingress can be a challenge. Ventilation can be a challenge. Operability of windows can be something that needs to be looked at. A lot of times, just the look and the comfort level, especially if it's an older office building with say single pane, which still exists in some places. You can't be living right next to one of those big storefront picture windows and be comfortable in your room. So there's a lot of things that need to be changed there. And George is going to get into that. He's worked on a few of these projects, I believe, out here in Ontario, Quebec, and he's going to bring us some great knowledge on that. So that's a good one. While we're on the topic, Leslie, what are you hearing from our vendors and stuff out there about the state of commercial work? Is it starting to pick up a little bit at all, or are people still crying the blues to you?
No, from what I'm hearing, business has been really busy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new contracts in the works. There's a lot of partnerships within different communities as well too, where businesses are working with each other on projects, and they're sharing a lot of information, which is nice to hear.
Yeah.
But it does seem like the market in general is starting to increase, and
Okay.
that business is picking up.
Well, Leslie's the canary in the coal mine for that, because the first thing that gets cut when things get tough is the marketing budget. So Leslie can tell you how things are doing just based on what her phone is doing. Basically, I think is kind of how it is in our lives, right, Les? Yeah.
I'm still smiling. We're doing well.
Good. She's still smiling. She's still smiling. So so the glass industry in Canada is okay. Good. Next,
Right.
we have our good friend Amy Adams. Amy Adams. Amy Adams. Hey, she star of Arrival. No, Amy Roberts.
Amazing.
Amy Roberts from FGIA will be taking the short trip from BC to come on out to Calgary, and she's going to talk about emerging technologies in glass. So basically, well, just running down the list here: vacuum insulating glass, photovoltaics, aerogel, dynamic glass, thin glass, composite panels. This isn't even all of it. Transparent bamboo, smart glass, low carbon glass. Think of it as glass science fiction. Basically, she's going to try to take us out to sort of the leading and bleeding edge of what people are working on in the technology. And I think that'll be an interesting one for everybody. So, and then we also have Anton Van Dyke from Leighton Consulting, who have been just great partners and done great stuff for the magazine and at the conferences. They're always enthusiastic participants. They're close to Alberta. They're just over the border in BC, although Anton himself is in Langley. And Anton is going to talk about he's got one that could be provocative, could raise some interesting conversations, especially with both architects and glazing contractors in the room. He's going to talk about whole building performance commissioning. So basically, we're entering this world where it isn't just about the individual components being certified and approved for use. It's looking at the whole energy budget of the building and deciding if it basically passes or fails, hits the standards that the various governments and codes want it to hit. Inherent in that process, though, is a difficulty where, well, what if something doesn't hit? right? What if something changes in the build, in the specification, which obviously happens during these projects? Who who's holding the bag on that? How does that get resolved? How do we figure out which component is contributing to the problem, or could be part of the solution, and how does all that get worked out? Anton's was formerly a product development manager and a project manager for a window and door manufacturing company. He has lots of direct experience with this sort of thing, and he's got some ideas. So I'm really going to be interested to see what the discussion is there. Moving right along, we've got size shouldn't matter, but it does, which is not what it sounds like. It's Terry Adamson is talking from Fenestration Canada. He's the technical director at Fenestration Canada. We got lots of great Western people in this, didn't we, Les? We got Anton and Langley, and
Yes,
Terry's in Chilliwack, and Amy's from Vancouver, and only George is flying in from Ottawa. So he's the one Easterner on the thing. But we managed to get lots of Western content here. Terry Adamson is going to be talking about thermal modeling, and the problem we all have with, you model it to one size and you get it tested and certified to one size, and then the size changes, or somebody wants a different size, a bigger size, and there are new. Well, I'm gonna have to let Terry explain it because I'm not as good at it. But basically, the way to think about it is there's new approaches where you can model to a size and then use modeling to bring it up to bigger sizes. And there's things in the works that will allow people to do that with the certification agencies, because it's mostly a matter of getting everyone to agree that this is valid, and that we're not losing critical, that the thing that the way it performed at this size is the way it will perform at that size, and that we aren't losing enough accuracy that we're misleading people. So all that's going on. Oh, and then there's and also we've got the Gamma Awards, right, Les?
we do.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning.
Yes, that's right. That's right. At 9:30, we've got and this is a new thing that just happened. I don't even have it on the website yet. But at 9:30, Gamma is going to present its apprentice awards to its top apprentice people. It's something that it's done for a while. But they're bringing it to Top Glass as one of our association partners, and we're really excited to have this. We love having this kind of association community involvement with the show, and we're going to be welcoming Gamma out for that. So please, everyone, get into the show first thing. 9 o'clock, the show opens. 9:30, Gamma's doing their presentation, and we're really looking forward to hosting that and to seeing all the apprentices and hardworking people out there. We want everyone from the industry to come in. This is not just for owners. This is not just for managers. This is for really anybody who's interested or involved in architectural glazing. I promise you, everyone will learn something, no matter what sector you're in. Even if you do residential windows and doors, even if you're in that side of thing, you'll see things here that you might not see at a residential show. You'll see things here and hear different discussions here that are possibly new to you. So please come on out. If you're an architect, Les, what's your elevator pitch to architects? What do you tell them?
That this is a great place to come to see the new trends in the industry, to see the new offerings in the industry, to have some conversations with some of the leading providers, suppliers, manufacturers, and then again, back over to those education sessions that Pat is planning. As an architect, there's a takeaway from every single one of those.
Yeah, it's a chance to get out of the office and away from the screen, and really get your hands on some of the stuff and talk to some of the people who are involved in making the things that you specify. So it's a nice chance to do that and kind of get into contact with some of the nuts and bolts that goes on with making our glazed facades and our glass product. So I really like it from that angle. Fabricators, if you're involved in making your own glass, you're laminating, you're heat treating, you're making insulating glass, any of that stuff. Wow, this is a great place. That you heard Leslie's exhibitor list. There's people here with the machinery that you use. It's a great chance to catch up with some of your best vendors. A great chance to find new vendors and people to talk to. And the education sessions again are obviously very informative if you're on that side of things. So we like to think we have something for everyone, right, Les? Really who's in the industry. Also, if you're a contractor, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah. If we hope that, and I've got to shoot some messages off to the construction associations. I'm pretty sure our association partners have already been talking to them, but absolutely, if you're a contractor in the a GC in the Calgary area or really anywhere out west there that feels like taking a drive, we think this is a great chance for you to learn about a very important part of your building envelope and meet some of the people that will be doing the subtrade work on your project. So that's another great opportunity at Top Glass. Les, have I missed anything?
The only detail to add is that admission and parking to Top Glass is free.
It's always free. Thanks to the support and love of your suppliers and vendors in the Calgary area and around the West. They have always given us such great support that we're able to say, just come on down. Register is great, but whatever, show up on the day. If you're not too busy, come on down. And it's all, the doors are open for you if you're into architectural glass in the Calgary area. And we do need you to register for the plant tour, but honestly, it'll be worth your while. Come on out and take a toot around Oldcastle Building Envelope. They have a great facility there, and I'm really excited to do it. So, well, I guess that's it. That website again is topglasswest.ca, and really looking forward to seeing everybody out there. And Leslie, thanks for helping me out with this.
Thank you, Pat, and I hope to see all of you out at the show in October.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to Glass Talk. You can find this episode at glasscanadamag.com or on the major podcasting services. Glass Talk is a presentation of Glass Canada Magazine and Annex Business Media.